All right, everybody. Nick here with Fit to Hunt. As you can see, I have my interview guest on the screen right now. We're going to see how this works with a little Skype action. This is Mark Lopez. He is a fitness entrepreneur. He's an adventurer. He's an author and a former contestant on American Ninja Warrior. Mark, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Nick.
Hey, I think the biggest thing that I wanted to talk about is, you've been successful at a lot of things, including, writing your own book, Think the Fat Away, all the way up into competing for American Ninja Warrior in Denver. I guess really what we're going to talk about is your goals and the motivation that you had for a lot of those things. But first, let's go ahead and talk about how you got into the fitness industry and how that kind of shaped your life.
Yeah, absolutely. It all started, I guess I've always been an athlete my whole life. Played Little League baseball up until about 8th grade. Was a little overweight at that time, and then jumped into running track 3 seasons through most of high school. And after the end of high school, I kind of just didn't, the way that I looked when I saw in the mirror, just being about 130 pounds my senior year of high school. So after that, got into weightlifting, bodybuilding basically, and I got up as large as 195 pounds, just, ready to do a competition. And by about that time is when I had my first daughter. Never got to competing in a bodybuilding contest, so lost all my motivation there. Spent about 2 years maybe working out once a week, if not once, twice a month, and just knew I needed something big, just a big goal to set myself on. And I must have just been watching the TV show one day when it was on, maybe even back when it was, Ninja Warrior on G4 and all that in Japan. Mm-hmm. But I kind of just pointed and looked at it, and maybe you've done the same too, where, I'm like, I think I could do that,
right.
Just eventually was like, hey, I'm going to try that. So spent a year training for it, what I thought would be like the best way to get on the course. Mm-hmm. Submitted a video, and I was on it 12 months later. And last year was my second year in Denver. The first year was in Miami. And it was an awesome experience both times, for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah, I can imagine that training for something like American Ninja Warrior is probably a little bit different than bodybuilding and all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. When I came in the first year to Miami, and I'm seeing, there's Olympic track medalists there. There were people on tight ropes balancing and doing backflips and stuff. So definitely a whole different arena. So I learned from that coming into the second year to focus more on the body weight, calisthenics, the upper body strength, the grip strength, things like that.
Now I know since that you're no longer training people because of some of your other endeavors and things like that, but I kind of wanted to talk about past clients that you have had and different goals, different ways that you taught them how to go about planning their goals and their motivation and things like that. What was some of the big things that you tried to teach those clients?
Well, the biggest thing for me was I always wanted to establish their why. Like, why do you want to lose weight, or why do you want to get stronger? Really place that in their head, so they can keep their eyes on the prize, basically.
Right.
So that was always the thing. And then after that, for me, it was always about just tracking, just measuring everything. We'd always do weight, body fat. Workouts were always programmed month by month. Always reassessing our goals, things like that. So it was just, setting the goal and making sure you're tracking the metrics, the daily things needed.
Right. You said reassessing. So like as far as goal settings and trying to achieve those goals, reassessing is probably one of the most important things that you need to do just to be able to know you're getting someplace.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the biggest thing, is that way you aren't off in this one path and then you turn around and realize it was the wrong path.
Right.
In that sense.
Perfect. Let's talk a little bit more about your book, Think the Fat Away. I actually just looked it up on Amazon.com, and it seems to be a pretty interesting read. It's the same way I like to go about training myself as well as my clients. Getting inside your brain to do weight loss, or inside your brain to do strength and things like that. Turning little mechanisms on in your brain just by the way you think, in order to achieve your goals. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was always the biggest thing I wanted to let my clients know when I was training clients as well, was that it was it really was the mindset. It was not only so much the mindset, it was the words that they were using. You know, it's the clients who are always like, oh yeah, I'll try and do this, versus the ones who are like, I'm going to get this done. You know, so it's the words you're using, it's your own beliefs in yourself about what you can do and accomplish. It's so much more than just genetics and circumstance and what kind of exercises to do for your glutes and what kind of fruits and vegetables to eat. You know, it's deeper than that. So that's what I wanted to get at in the book for people, because I couldn't, you know, just write them a workout in a nutrition outline or anything like that.
Yeah,
so that was.
Yeah, everybody's. We started to see that. You know, everybody's different. There's no one cookie cutter method in order to get everybody the same results.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, if you can kind of train them how their mind to think, then it's much more personalized.
Absolutely.
You know, where they're hacking it at the source, I guess.
Okay, you wanted to, or I wanted to also talk about, you know, we all have different people in our lives, and, you know, family, friends. You know, we want to do things like American Ninja Warrior. For everybody, it might be a little different. But we all have those people and those things that motivate us. You know, I know you're a big family man, so talk about how they've affected your journey in the fitness industry.
Yeah, absolutely. My family's been everything for me. Just they've always, not only have they been a huge support for everything that I say, you know, they're not so much the kind of family who's like, oh, you're absolutely crazy and you can't do that. You know, they're like, oh, okay, well, go ahead, you know, give it a shot. And so it's, at least they get that, you know, it's not like, but they're not tearing me down or anything. So they've supported in that. And they've also been my why, you know, they've been my reason for wanting to push myself and to grow and do all these things is, you know, if I didn't have, you know, I have a wife and 2 daughters. If I didn't have that, and I was just, I always tell myself, if I was just single and just could do anything in the world, I'd do much, you know, I definitely wouldn't reach potential. So they're certainly my drive each day.
Awesome. As far as advice, either whether you've gotten it from your family, whether you've given it to your family, whether somebody has given it to you, what is some of the best advice you've ever heard as far as trying to achieve the things that that you're setting your mind and your heart out to do?
Yeah. I think the best example would be what I really been trying to instill into my daughters, and especially my older daughter now, each day. And I always ask her, no matter what she does, if it's a competition or whatever, I ask her 2 questions like, did you do your best, and did you have fun doing it? You know, and if we can just kind of live by that every single day, I think we're on the right track, kind of deal. You know, it's hard to steer away from that if those are the kind of questions and you're asking yourself and looking towards. So that's probably the best advice I could say I've given other people. As far as advice from other people, I mentioned there's this book, one of the first personal development books I ever read was called The Slight Edge, and I think it was by Jeff Olson. I have to double check that. But it was just talking about the law of compound growth, how small big action steps taken consistently over time just grow to compound to this massive growth. And that goes both ways. You can do positive things over and over and over and over and escalate, you know, there's these, and complete success, or you continue doing negative habits over and over and over, and you go and you derail and you spiral downwards. So it goes both ways, the law of compound growth. So that was certainly an eye-opener for me as far as my own personal journey.
Gotcha. What was the title of that book again?
Oh, The Slight Edge.
The Slight
I believe it's
Edge.
Jeff.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like it could be a good read. Now, what kind of things are you doing right now? What kind of things, like what goals do you have set for yourself? Because I know you're a very goal-oriented person. So, what kind of things do you have coming up? I mean, you've been American Ninja Warrior, you've been a trainer, you've been an author, and you know, I feel like there's a lot of things that you have kind of lined up for yourself. What kind of things you got going on right now?
Yeah, that's funny. That was kind of one of the questions I was asking myself earlier this year and the end of last year. Like, well, what is their next kind of deal, you know? A lot of it is financial goals. I just have some things in mind as far as my own business to kind of work and achieve up to. So a lot of focus on that. You know, I've built the kind of the groundwork for not only just establishing my faith, my family, you make sure I raise my kids, as well as making sure I've just, you know, had fun and had adventures. So now it's kind of really focused on work this year is going to be my main thing.
Gotcha.
And stay motivated with American Ninja Warrior. I don't know if I'm going to do this coming season, but next season for sure. So it's always, I just got to keep pushing myself and still keep training, because as long as it's going to be a show, then there's going to be a community and there's going to be people out like there who want to do the same thing. So I definitely want to be a part of that.
Awesome. If you could give the Fit to Hunt tribe members anything, any sort of motivation or advice for the 2015 year, what do you think you would tell them?
Yeah, just do what you love, man. Just have fun, keep growing, keep getting better, keep just enjoying what you do, learning from people that you want to be like. Just always push yourself. If you push yourself 1% better every single day, that's 365% by the end of the year, right? So it's just enjoy. That's really all I can say.
Awesome. Well, there you have it. Mark Lopez. He's a fitness entrepreneur. He's an author. He's been on American Ninja Warrior. He's got so many things planned for 2015. He's a pretty good example as to what, being able to accomplish a lot is, and he has his goals and his motivation and his family and his faith, and it's very inspiring to watch a young man that's not a whole lot older than myself be able to accomplish so many things. Mark, I want to thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure. It's been a privilege, and I appreciate you, Nick. Thank you, man.
All right. Have a good one, Mark. Thanks.
Yeah, take care.